This episode of Kind of Funny Gamescast is brought to you by Blue Apron. Now, Blue Apron, obviously, we've talked a lot about them before. You know, Game Over Greggy himself, Greg Miller, big fan of his show on Instagram, Cooking with Greggy. You can find him on the little hashtags and stuff. He's a big fan of cooking and stuff. Blue Apron, been really helpful with that. Because here's the deal. They send you little recipe sheets, all the things that you need. You can make each meal within 40 minutes or less. Tell me that's not a good deal, Kevin.
It's a great deal.
It is. So here's the deal. They are the #1 fresh ingredient and recipe delivery service in the entire country. It is their goal to make incredible home cooking accessible to everybody. And that includes me. And I can't cook. I haven't used it yet personally, but that's just because I'm just really not into cooking and stuff. But Greg's been loving it. Kev, have you used this?
No, I haven't, but
Okay,
Paula really wants to get it.
Oh, we got to get it for Paula. If she wanted to get it, you can tell her she can check out this week's menu and get her first 3 meals for free with free shipping by going to blueapron.com/gamecast. No S there, just Gamecast. Okay?
Literally every time she asks, I'm like, let's do that.
Okay, good. Let's make her do it. You'll love how good it feels and tastes to cook using Blue Apron. Remember, again, blueapron.com/gamecast. First 3 meals free shipping. We'll get Paula's review soon, and we'll let you know. Till next time, Blue Apron, a better way to cook. What's up, guys? Welcome to the first ever episode 113 of the Kind of Funny Gamescast. As always, I'm Tim Gettys, joined by one half the coolest dudes in video games, Greg Miller.
Hey, what's up?
I need to figure out what to do with that intro.
Yeah,
I don't know. Because I don't want to RIP. Like, Colin will always be the second half.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's
But
like when not me, of course, because I'm a dude, I'm a manly man, but like when you'd have like, you know, in grade school, like when the girls had their best friends forever and they'd have little hearts that came together, the things. Not that I ever had one of those, don't worry.
I get what you're
and
saying.
I didn't have that penguin that turned out to be a girl's toy either. But it's like one of those things, like that's what this is, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Okay.
But our good friend, Danny O'Dwyer.
You should maybe for the guests, you should like have like a second thing on it. Hey,
no clip?
cheers. I've never had Gettys before.
Really?
Well, you know, I figured I'd bring some over. Seemed like a good time for an old drink.
Too dark for me. Hurts my head. That's why I didn't do it. I apologize.
Wow,
I didn't mean to insult your heritage.
It's no problem.
Okay.
There's a lot.
Have you
going
never
on.
had one either, Kevin?
No, I haven't.
It's taste sensation.
God damn it, Kevin. I love this fucking show. I love this
I love
goddamn
it. I love
company.
it so much.
That's what it was. No, I've had Guineas before.
Guineas? You've had Guineas before?
Guineas.
Have
Yeah,
you?
yeah, some of that Gettys.
Guineas. I can't say it. Whatever. I've had that shit before, and it's great. Especially with the pizza, but I think it's the...
It's malty.
Yeah, it's the...
Show your tongue again. Show your
What
kids.
flavor did you? God damn it.
So, Kevin, we
blueberry.
went to Ike's Sandwiches today.
Oh,
and
you
they
get-
give you the green apple pop
get
on
the
the way out.
you get the
but
free
Kevin
lolly.
always exchanges it for a blueberry blow pop, and then his entire mouth, teeth, and tongue are blue. But now it's just down to his
Fucking
tongue.
worth
Dude,
it.
if you
Full
drank some
blue.
Guinness, your shits are real dark. So
Oh,
you should-
really?
yeah. Oh,
I
yeah.
got that to look forward
Oh,
to.
yeah. You got those Guinness shits.
That is exciting. So, Danny, you are joining us again on the Kind of Funny Gamescast. You're one of our earliest guests.
Sure.
Like,
Really?
Going back to the old days of the old
Jesus.
studio.
Back when I worked at GameSpot.
Oh, yeah. So it was a long time ago. And I
He's
remember
been here since
doing...
No Clip, though, right?
Oh, yeah. And
Okay,
he was on
just making
he
sure,
was on
okay.
Game Over Greggy.
Game Over Greggy, yeah.
Okay,
He might
okay.
have been on a Gamescast as well, in addition to
Okay,
that.
my
But
apologies.
the reason I bring
Who
this
knows?
up is I remember doing the intro and saying the coolest dudes in video games, and I included you as well.
Ah.
So you did get the honorable mention that you are also
Thank
one of
you.
the coolest dudes in video games.
Thank
and
you.
I stand by that.
That means a lot from somebody wearing a Saved by the Bell shirt.
Yeah.
Standing at
If
the
there's
edge of
anyone that knows
tomorrow.
cool in 2017, it's
For
this
sure.
guy.
Yeah.
Here's the
Gettys.
thing, you got to keep it genuine. Like the open shirt, Nick was giving me shit for it.
Yeah.
I think, and Nick gives shit, but it's the type of thing where he's like, I'm only giving shit because like I actually respect it. And
Yeah,
I like it.
big brother.
So he's not sure if he's supposed to like it or not. So he's like judging me. Like he'll make fun of me to see if it's cool.
Right.
And so yeah, no, you only do it with this. What was that cut?
I was going to say, Kevin's been playing fast and loose with the cutaways and the weird things here. He thinks that we're not noticing.
No. It's just earlier today, I accidentally pulled the knob down.
What's wrong with your mouth today?
I
Oh,
don't
this
know,
is
man.
Kevin every
What was
day.
in that lollipop? Did you buy that lollipop down in Dolores Park? That's a
Wait, let me
different
see
type
that
of
cut,
lollipop.
Kev.
What?
Let me see the cut you just did.
No, I'm just saying the knob.
the
was-
knob.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, okay, do it a little slower.
Yeah.
Whoa!
I like that.
Riding that
Now,
bar.
here's a question I had from that came up on the morning show today, and it's not an insult to you. Is this a fashion choice or a function choice? Leaving it open.
This is the fashion choice. That's what I was saying.
What?
Like, no, because it's the 90s style with the shirt.
Yeah, but I'm saying like when I would leave my button downs open growing up because I was fat. I didn't want the shirt to be tight and show how rotund I was.
The same reason I do to this day.
Yeah.
No, it's not that. I get.
Yeah, he says it's fashion. He doesn't think it's.
No, it's the fact. That's how you do this.
You
with your
carry
shirt.
it.
Come on.
It works well.
No, you look great. No,
I'm
it's
not
not.
trying to get it away from the fact that I'm fat, but that's
This
not why
you
I
are
do this
not
with the
fat.
shirt.
This is not where we're going with this.
Well,
I'm not
I
fat
feel
shaming
fat-shamed.
anybody. We blew tongue shamed Kevin, Nick. They can't even hear you.
You
This
used
is-
to be-
Speak into Kevin's. Kevin, turn on the camera and let Nick speak in there with
All right,
you.
Nick, come here.
This is playing great for the podcast, by the way.
They love
No,
it.
you gotta go closer. No.
See, that doesn't play. Nick being a ghost doesn't play at all.
You're like clipping out too. Oh Lord.
Your tongue's not blue. So was on Kevin is on.
Fourth graders' tongues are blue, and Kevin.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Kind of Funny Gamescast. Each and every week we get together and talk about video games. Sometimes.
And blowing
And
the
all
Cookie
things-
Monster.
Yeah, and blowing the
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. You can get it early at patreon.com/kindoffunnygames, or you can get it late at youtube.com/kindoffunnygames. Either way, we appreciate you and all the things that you do for the community. Just like our producer for the week, Salem. Got him, all got him. Round of applause.
Salem.
The homie.
Yeah.
Is that a first
Coming
name?
through.
Yeah.
First name Salem. Last name
Witch
Got him, all got
Trials.
him.
All got him.
no.
Yes, I know.
sure.
Right,
That's
the only thing I know
Jobs
from.
to him,
Yeah.
He's been doing it for a while too.
Yeah.
Since Steven Insler was finally like, oh shit, I
Where's
left his
Steven
credit
Insler?
card on.
Yeah.
He was our Patreon producer for like 7 months. We're like,
Yeah.
dude, this is
It was
expensive.
a little bit crazy.
You're a good man though, and you're a good woman too. Anybody else who want to support?
Do you ever do the Salem Witch Trials mission in Fallout?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the one where it's like a death claw.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty fucking cool.
Hell yeah.
That was good.
Fallout's pretty good.
So, first topic of the day, I want to talk about the games of 2017 leading up to E3. So, because here's the deal,
Right.
I want to set the stage here. It's mid-March at
It
the time
is,
of
yeah.
this recording.
It's been a real banger of a
Fuck,
been
what a
fucking
goddamn year.
months.
So, all right, we know, of course, we got Zelda. Of course, we got Horizon, right? And like those alone, you could just be like, all right,
Good year.
wrap it
Wrap
up.
it up.
We had a great year. Go back a bit before that, Resident Evil 7.
Yep.
Yeah.
Way better than anyone expected.
For sure.
We got Neo coming out of fucking nowhere. What else we got?
Near Automata.
We got Nier.
Automaton.
Yeah. And yeah, Snipper Clips. I'm going to give a shout out to the Snipper Clips.
Snipper Clips is a good video game.
I fucking love
Yeah.
Snipper Clips.
Right around the time of this posting, Snake Pass. I mean, I'm not saying we're grasping at straws. We're bringing in
No.
little games now,
There-
but we're
there's
showing
little
how.
games, but it-
Night
it's
in
big
the
one.
Woods?
Huh?
Night in the Woods.
Night in the
Oh, you're
Woods.
going to talk about that next topic. I want to hear about that.
Yeah.
I'm not. None of us. I don't know about you. None of us were. I'm into it and I enjoyed it, but not enough to go play it, the final version and over and over. But For Honor sold really well.
Oh, yeah,
No,
for sure.
could not-
I mean, Ghost Recon's
NDP or
Wildlands sold
NPD.
really well.
Yeah.
It's killing
yeah,
it.
But that wasn't.
Yeah, people
Yeah.
didn't seem to love
Wildlands
that.
was like whatever, but like For Honor was like, oh god, like that's.
Wildlands fucking fun. That's the problem,
I agree.
man.
Well, the Wildlands is fun, but it's fun in spite of it's trying to be serious. If that makes
Yeah.
sense, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, you
been
just have to
tonally
have
all over the
friends
place.
to play it. you
We
know?
had we played
Yes.
we played together and it was all right. It was fun, but I was like, man, we could
I
play
had
in
a
the
great
division.
time.
Mass Effect.
And then Mass Effect,
you know.
right? So
Yeah,
Mass
yeah,
Effect, the first dud of the year, and even then,
Who would have thought?
I
There
know.
would be like 6 games better than Mass Effect.
like, I mean, well,
Oh, yeah?
see, that's the thing. It's like, who
I
would
was
have
like,
thought?
why haven't we seen anything from this game? This seems weird. And then I did play
Right.
it, and I was like, oh, I played it actually, and I played the PC build.
Okay.
Played it on console. I was like, oh, this is not coming.
Well, that's why I loved when Andy, and this was about a year ago at this point, he just tweeted out, he's like, is anyone else starting to get worried about Mass Effect Andromeda? And at that point, it was like, no.
Yeah.
No.
And what's funny about Mass Effect, a dud.
Right.
What? Its Metacritic's like 76 now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It really is like, yeah, the animations suck, and like it doesn't look like next gen Mass Effect. Like it reminds me a lot of not in terms of review scores. It reminds me a lot of the reception to Fallout 4 in a way. Fallout 4 came out
expectation.
exactly, and we were like, oh, it's Fallout 3, but better. But like, okay, and this is like, and now granted, I don't think Andromeda is necessarily better than the other ones, but it is. Oh, it's more Mass Effect. I don't know, all right, but it's
Right.
not. It didn't push the bar. It
It
didn't
didn't
reset this
reinvent the
thing.
wheel all
Yeah.
over again, like
It's
Fallout
the
3
same.
did. Or,
I always say it's the same argument Colin would make about Fallout 4 compared to The Witcher and Dying Light or whatever. Of like,
Right.
this was a game clearly made in a vacuum where they went away and they worked on it and they came back and like,
Yeah.
oh fuck, this world has
Oh,
changed.
game's changed.
Yep, this
Yeah,
is
yeah.
not like putting that next to Horizon, next to Zelda. You're like, this isn't the same thing.
Yeah. Anyway, it's just been crazy. So again, Horizon, Zelda, those are the obvious big ones. But yeah, Nier and Neo are two other examples of just like PS4 being fucking awesome in terms of exclusives, but just in terms of quality games coming out. So now in between the mid-March timeframe
Sure.
and
Yeah.
E3. So
What's
E3,
coming?
we're talking June 10th, right? I think that's the date that
sounds about right.
around there, the first and second week of June.
Kevin, give
We
me a
got
date
we got
check
fair-
on E3
fair
for
amount
me,
of
will you,
games
big
coming
guy?
out here.
I think you're right. I think it might be 11. It depends.
Nick,
when's
I
E3
literally called out the fact that you screwed me out of the Nintendo World Championship in topic number 4, which we recorded out of order, and here you are, coming in now with it.
I apologize. I thought you said just now, Nick, can you bring the Nintendo World?
I did not say that. That's your championship.
Put it here for you.
Don't put it in front of me.
Okay for you?
That's a
Yeah,
shit
it
belt.
is okay.
That's
It's
a shit
okay.
belt.
We can.
It's a belt can't even stand up on its own, man.
No, it's really terrible. How dare you?
Yeah, it's not.
You'll get a crack at it one day. You'll lose.
It's like a girdle for a baby.
Thanks. Says Nick. That's your name right there.
We'll just leave it there.
Yeah.
Nick's little post-
June
Watch
13th
gravity
to
do
June
its work.
15th.
Okay.
E3 this year.
There we go. There we go.
Garbage.
So yeah, the press conferences and stuff start
Sure.
around June 10th.
I hadn't even left the room. And it fell over.
It happens. It's okay. It can stay. So I got a list of about 10 games with dates.
You better start with the biggest one.
Persona 5.
That's
Oh,
the
yeah.
one.
Shit.
April 4th.
Coming up quick.
All right.
Quick.
Yeah.
So where do we stand on this? What do we think that it's going to do for the industry? What Metacritic is it going to kind of settle at?
Oh, we're doing like a quick, crazy. Ooh.
Yeah,
Ooh.
yeah. And we don't need
Okay.
to get too crazy. There's no bets. There's no anything with this. I
Metacritic's-
do want to do a Metacritic topic coming up where we guess the rest of the year and
What's
start putting bets down so
Oh,
we
wow.
can look back later and
Okay.
and see where we're at.
Persona 5 is going to do incredibly well. It's going to do incredibly well. I'm basing that on the fact that I've only played a few hours of it. Like I said, I still haven't played more since then. This is next topic, what we're playing. I think I'll save some thoughts there.
Cool.
But I'd already done my preview or whatever for the first few hours of Persona 5. It's what I expected from a Persona. That's super exciting. It's super stylized. The reason I think it's going to deliver beyond that, even in terms of the score, is the fact that I saw, Polygon's article and Kotaku's article, and the fact that they keep coming of, now I'm 65 hours into the game, and it's
Right.
this, that, and the other. You know what I mean? Like, the game clearly is delivering what people want, and I still think that this is the breakout Persona game.
Yeah.
Whereas in the same way we always talk about Uncharted to Uncharted 1, where Uncharted 1 came out, and if you had a PlayStation, you were like, oh, this is great. But a lot of people didn't have PS3s. So what you heard was you buy PS3 in the years between Uncharted 1 and 2, but you hear about Uncharted, but you don't necessarily go back and play it. When Uncharted 2 came out, everyone was like, I'm on board for this. I've heard it's awesome.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing I think we saw with Persona of, my first Persona was Persona 3 because Jeff Haynes, when we were on the PlayStation team at IGN, was like, you have to play this. And I played it. I was like, this is awesome. And then 4 came out, but it came out weird. It was like right after 3, or I got it right after 3, and I didn't get into it because I didn't want to jump into another one. And then that was fine, but that was a super nerdy, I'm into Japanese role-playing games.
Very
I know
niche.
about this. Whereas when then there was, Persona 3 Fez edition on PSP, more people were hip to it. And then Persona 4 Golden is like an industry changer, right? Like, you talk to somebody about, hey man, the Vita, there's no games. Lol, lol, lol. Everyone's like, yeah, it was just my Persona machine. So even if you didn't have a Vita, you know how many people played Persona 4 Golden and are like, it's amazing, how great Yosuke is and Rize and all this stuff. And I think that's what's going to happen with Persona 5. It's going to land, it's going to be exclusive to the biggest console in the land, and everybody's going to be like, well, yeah, I have a PlayStation 4, and of course I want to play this.
Yeah, I'm coming from the perspective of somebody who's never played one of these games, but has like vicariously enjoyed that series through various websites like playthroughs, like Giant Bomb did playthroughs, Let's Play streams. Like I have seen people play through those games, but it's never really been the right time for me to get in. And I think that's exactly what's happening now. Is like this is, it's almost like it's Witcher 3 moment, right? Where like it's been in the public discourse for a good while now. And it's coming out, and crucially, what you just said, it's coming out on the console that is the one that people seem to. I mean, it's the one in the ascendancy, the one with a lot of games coming
It's
out.
kicking the shit out of everything. Yeah.
This year in particular,
Yeah.
Sony's having a fucking riot. And I think it's the game that like has been enough talk about it, and if it has all those positive reviews in the same way that CD Projekt were riding on that wave right up till The Witcher 3 came out, if it comes out and it's reviewing well, I think that's going to knock over a lot of people who are sort of in the maybe camp with this one.
Thinking about it,
Yes.
And I think, it's going to fill an interesting gap in the fact that it's coming out this close to Mass Effect. Mass Effect's thing was,
thought about
okay,
that.
cool. Oh my God, I have so many games to play. I've just got done with Horizon. I'm super into Zelda, and here's Mass Effect.
Right.
And now Mass Effect has been one of these games of like you can pass on it probably. And
I am
think
passing on it. As a fan of the series, I am like.
And people who are like, that was like, I'm really looking forward to them holding out. Maybe they're gun shy to it. Maybe they're gonna jump in and not enjoy it. And now Persona is gonna land there, and Persona is going to be that thing. I think that is like, you want style, you want substance, you want story. We're putting all the hooks into you and getting you this way.
I mean, it's crazy because this is a game that when everyone thought it was coming in 2015 and whatever, then it didn't, and it got delayed and all that stuff. And when it started getting delayed even more, it was just like, oh man, you're really not coming out on Valentine's Day? Like, are you fucking serious? And now that's going to be the best thing to happen.
Such a bullet.
100%. If it came out at that time, it would have just been eaten alive. But now it's coming out at the best time.
It's one of those. I think it would have done
a month after Switch launching, which is the perfect amount of time for people to be quote unquote done with Zelda to the point that they're like, I can stop playing. This is my number one priority. I'll still keep doing a shrine here or there, but they'll be done with the main.
And there are like 3 or 4 other really big PS4 games that came out in the past couple of months. Like, what's coming out around it though? Does it have a good window?
So that's the thing. We can all agree Persona 5 is going to kill. It's going to get great reviews. I mean, it's already being reviewed in Japan. So like, we already have a standard there. Yooka-Laylee is the only real thing of consequence that I'm seeing in early April. That's April 11th. Obviously, very different audience, very different type of game. I don't even know the MSRP of Yooka-Laylee. Can you look that up, Kev?
I want to say it's $40. I'm just putting my prediction there because I think when we did our Let's Play, we talked about, or when Nick and I did our Let's Play, we did it there.
Yooka-Laylee is a really hard read. I'm even seeing it at GDC and seeing it at PAX as well with like a relatively strong presence. $40. Nice work.
Thank you.
That's why you're the best in the biz.
I'm something.
Like I can't tell. And like it had a Kickstarter and it's had a long story and it looks really polished. But it's just like what is the market for 3D platforming games? I feel like this happens every like 2 years where another one of these comes out and we're like trying to see if it's going to kick off or not. And I just don't know.
There's that fondness for it. There's that reminiscing of playing games like that, and I think this is, in the same way, I was going to say the same way off, and the same way everyone here at this table and people who have left this table have been able to find a life on Patreon, right? Of like, sure, I am super into this niche content and I will support it. Yes. That's what Kickstarter obviously has been for video games, and that's what it's going to be for Yooka-Laylee. I don't think Yooka-Laylee is going to move the needle in a major way, get in Persona's way or anybody's way. Because for me, I was like, when they announced it, I was like, oh, cool, spiritual successor to Banjo-Kazooie or whatever. I was like, I was never super into those games, but maybe the time. It's similar to, I feel like, music games, where like when Rock Band 4 came out, we're like, in the Guitar Hero, like, maybe it's time for that to come back. And then was like, no, not really. And like, when I watched Yooka-Laylee and we did Nick showed me his Let's Play footage and stuff, and even when I saw it at Day of the Devs at Alamo Draft House, I was like, oh, this game's cool and it's cute and it's got a substance to it, but like the and like the words popping on screen, I'm like, I'm not feeling this. I don't see where I'm playing this. I'm not playing this on my screen, my big screen TV. Even on my Switch, I feel like I don't know if I'd play it there.
Well, so for me, that's where I think it's right at home is the Switch, and unfortunately, it's not coming out April 11th on the Switch. I don't think there's an actual date for that yet. I just know it's after. Because this totally is the throwback. Like, oh, I'm gonna play, and I'm just gonna play something, and like I have it there. You were saying that like it is such a weird kind of niche of like who is the audience for this game, and it's like, oh, do we really need 3D platformers? My problem is even within 3D platformers, there is a divide between the Mario 64 and the Banjo and the rare games, the Banjo, the Donkey Kong 64, that type of stuff. And I never really liked that side. I never really liked the collectathon, super open worldy the 3D platformers, and that's what this totally is a spiritual successor to. Right. So it's like if it was a bit more of just like an actual platformer, like a more of a Spyro style game, or more of a even Ratchet and Clank. Like I think Ratchet and Clank had its moment, and it was like so successful. Exactly, that type of stuff. Where those are so good, and I loved when Ratchet and Clank came out last year, and it was fantastic. But Yooka-Laylee is the thing for me where I'm like, I'll give it a shot because even though I don't really love and have the nostalgia for the Banjo type games, like I feel like it is coming at a good time for me in terms of having the Switch and where I'll be at with that. But I want to have like Marty Sleeve on the show to talk about him because he loves Banjo. So like I think that this game might speak to him with a little
no, totally. And I think that's the thing, that there's an audience for it. My analog for a personal thing is like when I was, growing up playing games, right, or whatever. Like I love Jak and Daxter. I loved Ratchet and Clank or whatever, or liked Ratchet and Clank later on, I should say. But I remember always seeing Sly Cooper, And Sly Cooper, I would watch and be like, man, Sly Cooper's a game I want to like, but I just didn't. I can tell I don't watch the gameplay. And when they put out the collection, I played it and I was like, oh well, now of course I'm fucking Mr. Infamous. I love Sucker Punch. Let's go back and see what I didn't see before. And I started up. I'm just like, no. And I'm like, maybe it's because it's dated. Let's try the Sanzaru game that I always mispronounce. Sanzaru. Let's play their Sly 4 or whatever, Thieves in Time. And I put that in and I was just like, no, this just isn't for me. And I like the devs, and that's one of those games you step back and I'm like, I can see the quality and appreciate it, but this is where it gets into, I think that's just not a game for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm most interested in, you brought up the music game thing, and is it time for music games to come back? I don't think this Yooka-Laylee is the question of, is it time for 3D platformers to come back? Because I think the answer is no.
I think it's good for Yooka-Laylee because otherwise it would have been buried. Like the one saving grace is that at least it's coming out in a window where it's the only one.
And Mario is at the end of the year. But with Yooka-Laylee, I think it's more similar to, why is everyone so questioning about Mario?
Because we've been burned so many times by Nintendo and in video games in general. Don't take everything you hear just like to Bible truth, Tim. That's why.
No, I get that, but I just you both have mentioned in the last couple of days that Mario Odyssey. You're like, we'll see. I
said it at the fucking Switch event when they first announced it.
It's just like with you guys. I thought Mario was going to be a launch title.
Sure.
From everything I've heard, Mario is so close to being done if it's not already finished.
Yeah.
Seeing that trailer, I was like, all right, this game is done.
Yeah.
I had a feeling the only thing they haven't done is record the orchestral soundtrack because listening to it's some MIDI bullshit. Knowing Nintendo, they usually show the trailers with shitty music and then they later record it as their last thing. I think they're at that step.
I just feel shocked. Video games in general, we've just all been burned so many times, and not to mention Zelda, right? For Nintendo, where Zelda just kept moving. And don't get me wrong, at some point it does become
different.
Well, fuck the Wii U. But I mean,
they're coming in hot on this whole console. They're still adding in the online stuff. Like a lot of stuff that was supposed to be on launch has got pushed out. We're eventually going to get Mario Kart Deluxe coming along. It just all seems to be quite I just wouldn't be surprised. It's like when people say Red Dead's coming out this year. It's like, there is a universe where that'll happen.
And they're like, but Rockstar always hits their date. I'm like, they didn't hit it with 5. What are you talking about? Grand Theft Auto 5 got pushed.
Yeah. I don't see Mario Odyssey get pushed.
I hope it doesn't.
But that's a separate thing. My point was, I think that this is more of a Shovel Knight situation with Yooka-Laylee, where it could be at least, where it is going to a very specific crowd that could potentially love the game. But that's a question of the quality of the game. Is it just a spiritual successor, or is it adding on to what it is? Because Shovel Knight is not just a spiritual successor to retro platformer games. It adds to them and it modernizes them. And Shovel Knight to me is like a perfect game because it not only gave me more of what I've remembered from playing the games, but it felt good now. Not just like, oh, this felt like it used to feel. It's like, oh no, this feels how it should feel. This feels how I want to remember those games. And it doesn't look like Yooka-Laylee's doing that, but I think that that's what it would have to do to kind of have its own niche, be successful.
Yeah, that would break it out in a way because it has this 3-year-long narrative, right? People know about it. So if then it gets an endorsement in the form of reviews and people saying it's good, then that will push it out into a bigger audience.
Yeah, because again, Shovel Knight has a similar thing where it was just like it had the what?
This ain't doing no Shovel Knight. Don't worry about it.
No, but well, that's the thing though. But Shovel Knight was nothing.
Shovel Knight. This ain't no Shovel Knight.
Shovel Knight was nothing until it came out. Shovel Knight was a Kickstarter that had a trailer that I was like, this looks cool. And they got the guy, Vert's doing music from OC Remix or from VG Mix and all that stuff. Great, cool. And it's a very underground shit. But it took people like Colin being like, no, this is worth looking at.
Yeah.
I mean, we're now
but the fact that we're not hearing that already. Yooka-Laylee previewed fine. People are like, oh yeah, it's a throwback, but it wasn't like beat down your door. Holy fucking shit, are you seeing that? And that's what Shovel Knight was. that's what Rocket League was.
Right.
What other games did Colin always claim credit for?
I don't know.
You know what I mean? Hashtag Colin was right.
We'll see. I don't think the Yooka-Laylee is going to do it, but I do think the Shovel Knight got popular after it came out. Not before it came out.
But I think there was really great buzz behind it. And I'm not, because I'm joking around. Colin was on the early bird side of all that stuff, but there were other people there that saw it and were moving that thing. You know what I mean? I remember when we brought it to the office, when Colin brought it to the office, and when he was there and Vince was there, and people were standing up, gathered around, like, holy shit, this is awesome.
So, I think we're now at the stage where unless you have that type of game that is breaking through, that people are being evangelists for, there's too many very good games coming out right now. If you're not in that realm, then you're fucking done and dusted. And we'll have to see with this one, but it is strange that this is a game that's been at so many different on so many show floors, and we're not having that conversation around it. So,
and I also think it is one of those games that is just the narrative has gone on too long. As somebody not connected to it, I remember when the Kickstarter came and it's like, oh, it's former Rare guys are making this game. It's
That's the
gonna be
problem
great.
with Kickstarters.
And you're like, fucking awesome. And then here we are, and it's like, it still isn't out. And then when I was watching a draft test, I'm like, how is this the first time I'm really seeing this game?
Right.
And I'm like, oh, I guess my personal interest out of it. But it is the same thing that no one's grabbing me and be like, dude, you got to look at this game. Like they did with Nier, you know what I mean? For a more recent example.
Oh, yeah.
Like, dude, you got to fucking check out this game.
Yep. Hope you enjoyed that episode of Kind of Funny Gamescast. For more Kind of Funny Games content, click right there to subscribe. For more just fun content like the morning show, click right there to subscribe to Kind of Funny. Or support us on Patreon here, or check out some videos there.
Give it a little wiggle.